think this is, I'm just going to behave as if this is working now because when I'm really trying to learn this timing. So I think it's happening. Let me just check. Done redirecting to YouTube. I think we're live. Hi, I'm Jane Frizzell. This is Office Hours for Basic Military Riding, which is a program for riders and trainers who understand that riding horses forward straight according to the doctrines and principles of the masters of the primary riding schools were completely right. So in this program, riders and trainers study the instructions from those old dead men, and I help put them into practice in the arena because I was trained by a retired cavalry chief in Europe. I went to him for dressage because he was a dressage Olympian. And I was a DQ at the time, but what I learned was, or what got confirmed, because I was already kind of a good rider by then, was that this is basic military riding. Ride your horse forward, set him straight. But what does that really mean? We don't give lip service to that. In this program, everyone in it actually knows and rides it, trains it, teaches it. So maybe this is sounding a little bit like an advertising spiel now, than really that's office hours for the people who are in this program. But we have decided to, it's public. This is public. I don't know who watches it. Not that many people do, but more people watch it than I have on my schedule. So that's something there. And I hope you'll continue to watch it because as this program is like a foal standing up, well, a little more than that. Now I'd say this program is like a 4-year-old horse that's had a beautiful active start. And it's going. It's going. But I don't want to sound too confident. I don't need to, it's not confidence. It's like I see it with my own eyes. I hear it. It's happening. Okay. Announcements, office hours. This is spring vacation time. There is no office hours next week and the week after. I believe that is April 3rd, April 2nd. I'm sorry, I don't know. The first and second Wednesdays in April, there is no office hours. As for Steinbreck sessions, there is Steinbreck sessions next Tuesday, but not the following Tuesday, which I think is April 9th or April 8th. I think, well, whatever. And while I'm at it, in case you follow office hours but don't know about Steinbreck sessions, Steinbreck sessions is Tuesdays at 3 o'clock live stream, and they are also kept up. So if you can't make it at that time, you can catch up. And in Steinbreck sessions for this winter and now spring 2025, we are going through the section where he expounds on and spells out the 2 golden rules of riding: ride your horse forward and set it straight. And we're going through it line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, examining it super close. So it's just, we're just baptized in it. We are just soaking wet with ride your horse forward and set it straight. One thing that I do predict that we'll see happening in the horse world is the vernacular that I use as a professional, like riding forward straight, bringing shoulder, blah, 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 whatever the words are. there is a lot of mimicry going on online, and so I've found myself having to become more wise about the vernacular that is part of writing, such as all of the definitions that are in the glossary that we use in this program, which none of those are my terms. Those are the terms of writing. But the influencers online are like, they're like seagulls at like some nasty dock, and they just come and they take, they are taking, they take the words that are useful and use them for their insipid word salad content. So I myself am even the idea, even the word ride, the sentence ride your horse forward and set him straight. Podolsky said it, set the horses straight and ride them forward. I'm concerned that we're going to see that out there with all these terrible beginner. They are not even, they are such bad riders. There's not one feature of the riding that's correct, but they have WordPress. So anyway, I know you get my gist, and I will bring it up again. But what I'm trying to say is be wise about the use of these terms in front of the seagulls. Okay, so you guys know that we're not going to have office hours for spring vacation. And I don't have really much to discuss because that was kind of a lot. Well, I guess it's only 3:06, but these are some of the things that I'm going to bring up that are going to be topics in office hours after spring vacation. And these are some suggestions from instructors and trainers. I brought it up in office hours. I mean, in Steinbreck sessions yesterday. Stop kicking backwards. This is the terrible, rampant problem that we see of riders moving their legs, usually toward the rear, toward the flank, as of counterfeit and unuseful substitute for leg at the girth. And when leg at the girth is used, I use my leg toward the girth into the horse. I don't move my leg to use my leg. I use it at the girth where it lives. And there is some nerve cluster there, but who cares? It works good if you use it there. And all the masters tell us this too. Legs at the girth works best there. Do that. So if these are my legs, if I use my legs, if I use both legs at the girth, it's usually only one time and it's very short and it's towards each other into the horse. Our aids go into the horse. This is how we can say that an aid goes through. It goes through into the horse. So the leg doesn't go backwards. The old-fashioned way to describe riders who were doing that was saying they had window wiper legs, like their legs would go backwards, blah, 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 blah. But remember, aids go into the horse. My weight goes down into the horse. My legs go into the horse, either my right leg or my left leg, or both legs at the girth. If my leg is used behind the girth, it's for putting the haunches on a different track. Not the same thing as stimulating the hind quarters. That is professional, classical vernacular for what the leg at the girth does. Stimulate the hind quarters. Okay. And hand also, when I use my hand, it actually goes into the horse because it makes information go into the little bit that's sitting right there. So my aids go into the horses. This is how we can say that an aid goes through. But this topic of stop kicking backwards, I hope I've covered that. Here's another topic that's going to be, that's probably been covered. So that is off the list now. I think this is very important. What is professionalism in riding? And that could be a whole subject. And then another week could be, what is professionalism in the horse industry? For example, how we conduct ourselves when we are in public or when we are at a big competition or a small competition or conducting transactions. What is professionalism in riding in the arena? Like, how do I know? Oh, I can tell that's a professional. And what is professionalism in the horse world? That's probably 2 weeks there. And here's one. This seems like it should be obvious, but it clearly is not. Excuse me. How to take a lesson. Now, you guys in my program are getting this done. But how to take a lesson. Here's another topic. The clinic system, the clinic industry, basically. It's basically an industry now. Clinics versus riding and training in a routine, systematic program. As you guys know, I don't do clinics. I don't give lesson. I'm a trainer. There's a difference there. Now, I have done the other, so I am experienced enough to explain why it doesn't work. It doesn't work, but that's going to be a topic. And here's another topic that you guys that know how to ride already can ponder, and how to explain to students and riders. When teaching riders about the weight aid, generally, the rider's body doesn't actually know where down is. Did you see that drop? I dropped my, see that? Here's a Sharpie. It fell down. That was a Sharpie. Here's a lip gloss. It's a lips. So point being, these are dropping down, but our body, when we're on a horse, and your students' bodies, and remember, these people out there, they haven't had the weight aids. They've never heard of them. That's how screwed up things are. So you may be the first person to bring this up to them. So their bodies, because their feet aren't planted on the ground, don't know where down is. Their whole proprioception is wonky. Proprioception for riding is different than for terra firma, for sports and athletic endeavors that are on the ground with our feet on the ground. That's why you can't, that's why this whole idea of cross training for riding or doing, you can't get, we need to be physically fit, and another sport is just fine, but there is no reference in any other activity that is like riding. You can only learn it from riding on a horse, not a fake horse, on an actual horse. Okay. So where actually is down? That is the topic. And one thing I'm just going to say now, but I'll bring it up as another topic because I think it's worth spending time on, and I don't want to spend time today. I want to be done and go on spring vacation. You help your riders know where down is, like show them. and all of us have our own, every rider, every trained rider knows their the holes and potential faults in their own riding. It's like the damned left hand. We all have one of those. And you have to know what you suck at so that you can like manually make sure you don't do it. Like check yourself that it's not happening. Many riders on the right side have a weird, their motor plans in their bodies aren't giving them accurate feedback about where down actually is. And I think some of you have probably seen how on horseback, I'll turn around and drop a sugar cube or a mint candy down into the sand and watch how that's where down is. That's where my weight goes. Or you can like teach the student to just drop a little bit of drool. They don't want to do it because it's kind of gross, but you will then know that they have dry mouth and they can't drool. So if they know that you're going to expect them to summon up some spit and let a nice soft drool drop and notice where the drop goes, you've just changed that whole rider's body. Okay, so I hope that gets your thinking going. I am very much looking forward to these subjects in the spring after a couple weeks off. And I have been working on some things that I think will be helpful and interesting and even sort of exciting for all of us. And I'm just looking at my notes. Ride well.